Vlogaday 603. Yeah.
It's better than that.
Today's video does have to come in 3 parts because there's a lot to do. It's a Mercy Ships Monday and I was going to talk about living in Ghana for a little bit. But I got to wrap up the whole Luxembourg chapter, tell you like what some of my observations, thoughts are, share a couple stories from last night, and I still owe you a walkthrough of the Airbnb, which I know we've seen a lot of the Airbnb, but I was trying to do it yesterday. I just ran out of time. It's just been a very full couple of days. Anywho, I didn't get home until like 3 in the morning. Still had to do some of this stuff, and now I'm up and it's coffee. Bucket of coffee. Alright, coffee and a croissant in me. Feeling mostly alive again. And figured I'd grab a banana really quickly because it's a good cheap addition to a healthier breakfast than other options that are available. And now I've got to decide which stories to tell. There are a couple of really interesting ones that he told me last night, but I think I'm going to stick with 2. One of which is kind of dark. Yeah, maybe a little bit too dark actually. Okay, so we'll just walk the periphery and I'll tell you a couple stories and then we'll head back to the apartment. For starters, the Duke doesn't even actually live in this palace. He lives somewhere up in the north. Also, I never mentioned this was the last Grand Duchy in the world. The place is ruled by a Duke. Also, the Luxembourgish monarchy is apparently even wealthier than the British monarchy. I did not know that. But he doesn't live here. This is just for show, I guess. One of the reasons I was really excited to come here was because it seems like I just replete with inspiration for stories and storytelling, but this basically all started out as one fortress. It all started with one castle over here on the hill behind me, which was really difficult to approach or take, and actually as a fortress entirely, because this place steadily grew over time, right? Like they just kind of added fortresses to different hills as military technology advanced and as they needed to defend themselves better. The walls were raised over time. The whole city was actually raised 20 meters by the French. And the French are the only ones to ever actually take this fortress. And they took it twice. Nobody else has ever taken this fortress throughout history, actually physically taken it by force. Others have gotten it through other means, but otherwise they're the only ones that have taken it by force. So this castle behind me was the original, and then they just kind of spread out onto this hill, and then it spread to the other hills. What really confused me for a while was I thought that the fortresses were only on top of the hills and not in the valley that cuts through this whole area. But there were walls and dams and everything blocking the whole thing off, so this whole city was protected. But of course, if you entered from the valley, if you entered down below, you had to work your way up through multiple levels of fortifications, and it's not something that would be easy to survive, which is why nobody ever took it. A very good series of deterrents until obviously, you know, it's rendered obsolete. Things like cruise missiles. This isn't as useful of a fortification anymore. About 50% of the population was military, because this whole thing is just a giant military outpost, really. And it's at a crossroads. That was the other question I had, like, why is this here? This is a major crossroads for the regional economy. And so this is a perfect location to have a fort, and it's a very important location to maintain and hold. It's just overall fascinating. The French, in particular, built a lot of the barracks that have now been turned into buildings for other purposes, but like half of the buildings here were a barracks at one point, and the rest of them were basically garrisoned as well, because the soldiers, before they had their own space, just lived in people's living rooms and, you know, bunked up with the locals, which wasn't good for anybody's morale. You can see why this place is just ripe with inspiration. Just this fortress, guarantee you. So I don't want to, there is a particular fortress, there's a particular city in my mind, in my books, that is definitely I'm going to reap a lot of inspiration from this place, because wow, really, really cool. I definitely recommend coming to Luxembourg for a couple of days, checking it out. The people are lovely. They're really, really nice. I met a whole lot of people while I was here, just chatting, you know, every time I sat down, every time I stopped, which was amazing. And obviously stayed out really late with a couple of them last night, but I had a good time while I was here. Luxembourg, really cool, really nice, an amazingly well-preserved fortress city. And it's also just happens to be the banking capital of Europe. So if you've got a couple of days, I recommend it. It's chill. It's going to be quiet. There are some nice bars and stuff to hit at night. It's a wonderful place to wander. And walking these city walls last night was amazing, like getting a little bit of a tour. It just kind of felt like vertigo because you're standing on the edge of these fortifications looking out. And I think even more at night than it does during the day. It was pretty magical. That's all I'm going to say. I liked it a lot. So thank you, Luxembourg. I appreciate you hosting me. Hopefully I'll be able to come back and see you in warmer weather sometime. Would be nice, but I enjoyed myself nonetheless. Also the oldest bar in the city. I didn't go here, so it's another spot to hit when I come back. Plenty to do. And then I discovered that there's an exhibition going on for like a guy who does fantasy illustrations. What the miss? Bonjour. Or hello. Is it free? Oh my gosh, this is exciting. These are amazing. Okay, well that was an amazing surprise. Those paintings are incredible. I will try to find that artist portfolio and link below so you can see them in much better resolution. Too much glare on the glass to really get good shots with my camera, but man, it's good stuff. This town, I'm telling you, inspiration city when it comes to the vlogging. Not the vlogging, to the fantasies, to writing. I need lunch. All right, now Airbnb time. I'm running a little bit late. I need to go to the airport, but quick tour. It's decently located. I'd rather have been in the center of town, but it's only a 20-minute walk from the center of town. That's not so bad. Otherwise, it's actually fairly spacious. All right, quick walkthrough. That's where you were just sitting. Living room, dining room, I guess, basically. Kitchen. It's like a full kitchen, actually. If you look at this, you've got everything you need except lights. There are just no lights in here. And a fridge, like we said, full of beer. Bedroom, not made. Hold on. Bedroom, another TV, a lot of shoes, and then the bathroom. A really, really big bathroom, which you've kind of seen already, and a really big shower. It's huge. Now that's the quick walkthrough. The thing is, like, it's nice. Hold on, let's improve our lighting situation. It's a nice place. The pictures on Airbnb didn't do it justice. It's much nicer than I thought it was going to be. The only downside, there are two downsides. One was that one that didn't really affect me during the day, but the neighbors upstairs have kids and they just run around all the time. Not a big deal though, because you shouldn't be here that much anyways. You should be out and about. The other thing though that was kind of weird is that it feels like somebody still lives here. You saw the shoes. There's like a toothbrush here. That's not my toothbrush. You know, the owner's clothes, I'm assuming it's the owner's clothes, are still in the closet. There's, you know, extra food and stuff around. It's just weird. Like, it's really nice that they stocked the fridge with beer. And the guy's really nice. Like, I definitely recommend staying here if you gotta have an Airbnb. This is great. It's just be aware when you come here that if you're here during the day, there's a good chance kids will be running around. And then it does feel like you're in somebody's home. It feels a little bit personal in a little bit of a weird way. They're like photos and stuff. It feels very personal. So as long as you're aware of that, fine. Like, it didn't bother me much, but just a little bit kind of did. Anyways, that's the Airbnb tour. Now you've seen the place as I walk backwards through it. I need to pack up now, go wait for the bus. It just went by as I was walking here. So the hope is that it comes back by again here soon. And I don't have much to pack because I literally, this backpack is all I brought with me. I just threw fresh socks and underwear into my backpack with my laptop and my toothbrush. I did bring my toothbrush, I didn't use his toothbrush. And that's it. Definitely traveling light. But you don't need much else. Really, fresh underwear. I did intend to bring one more shirt than I brought, but you know, what can you do? Anywho, let's go back to Paris. I love coming home to this city. It's amazing, and the weather is perfect. If this doesn't stick around for at least a few days, I'm gonna be really disappointed. And I'm back. Did you miss me? Quick Ghana story. First, I need to go to the restroom. Thanks to everybody who wished my mom a happy birthday yesterday. That was very nice of you. And for those of you who are wondering how I actually managed to give my mom flowers. Oh, you probably don't know. I gave my mom flowers, but normally I would order them thanks to the internet. It's possible to do that from anywhere. I was kind of running a little bit late, so thankfully my sister did it for me, and she put it together very, very well. She's amazing. Love my sister. So, Ghana. After Sierra Leone, on our way to Togo, which is right next door to Ghana, we stopped over in Tema, which those of you who are familiar with Ghana were probably thinking I was going to say Accra, but the port city of Ghana is Tema. If you're not following at all, don't worry. You can just look it up on a map. It'll all make sense. It was like a refitting pseudo shipyard time, and I was still doing the job, the audiovisual technician job that I hated, and it was kind of like the peak of that, where I like literally broke down in the server room at one point just because I was so miserable. Everybody else was getting a bit of a vacation between field services, but I was stuck on the ship, and it was so dumb because like a lot of the reason I was stuck on the ship was because the satellite dish that we had, which I can try to find a picture of for you, would keep getting bumped and it would have to be realigned. And so I'd have to go like realign it and try to get satellite TV back. We had all of 4 channels. I don't watch TV, so I just thought it was stupid that people were sitting around on the ship watching TV when they should have been exploring a new country, getting out, doing anything other than watching TV. And so it just kind of compounded the sense of like, oh, I hate this. And oh man, I hated it so much. That job. Ghana was nice. We were able to get out, go into Accra. Accra had some amazing food. They have a great Thai restaurant that we went to a couple of times, some good Indian food. They had movie theaters, which we had not seen in forever. We went to this one movie theater in Sierra Leone that was like kind of an auditorium and had bats flying around us while we were watching the movie. Like it was kind of a mess. Ghana had a real movie theater with some amazing like local ads before the movies. It was incredible. They had a couple of fast food places called Pizza Inn and Chicken Inn, and we would just go get, like pizza and go watch a movie, and it was the most amazing thing. I think I watched like 10 movies over the course of 2 months or more, probably. I played golf while I was there on, I think on Easter, actually, and just had a general good time when I wasn't working. My buddy Kyle and I got a lot of stuff done, hung out with a bunch of my friends as much as I could. I had to work a lot when I wished that I wouldn't have to, and that was one of the things that definitely catalyzed me towards getting out of that job. But yeah, Ghana was cool. I'm sure that I can come up with some more stories, but we're kind of out of time, and we have years ahead of us to tell all kinds of stories, so that just gives you a little bit of a taster. Anywho, that's a little bit about Ghana. I am back in Paris. I'm excited to be here, and the weather is spring-like outside. I cannot wait just to be in Paris. I love being in Paris. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go ahead. I have to do Insta freebie like office hours tonight, so I have work ahead of me. So I need to edit my vlog. At least start editing it now. Eat something, and you guys know. Who cares, Jay? Just go. Okay.